Welcome to CorkCon today for October 31st, 2019. Halloween here in the United States. I hope you're all having a fantastic Halloween, but we're here to break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of CorkCon right now and give you my opinion on them. Now, this is my opinion. If you want to learn more about these stories, check out the show notes down below. I'll put a link to each story where you can read about them for yourself and let us know what you think. We'll love to hear from you. Now, if you're new here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do. And hopefully we can help you break free from the high-cost cable TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. Well, before we get into it, don't forget our Halloween giveaway ends tonight for a chance to win a 2019 Roku Ultra, the brand new, more powerful one with an improved remote, and a $100 Netflix gift card. There are many ways to enter. You don't have to do them all. Let me be clear here. There's multiple ways like sign up for our newsletters, following us on Twitter, visiting our Facebook pages, and more. But you don't have to do all of them. So a little confusion over that. The more you do, the more chances you get to win. So check that out. Link in the show notes down below if you want to enter the giveaway. All right, a lot to talk about real quick. Starting off with AT&T Watch TV may be the next service to shut down. AT&T Watch TV, if you're not familiar with it, is a stripped down version of AT&T TV Now. It costs about $15, or it's free with wireless subscription to select AT&T wireless phone plans. The unlimited, and I think unlimited and more is what they're calling it right now. Well, AT&T announced this Sunday they're launching new unlimited plans. These plans will come with free HBO Max when it launches next year. AT&T TV or AT&T Watch TV, is not included. This is something I talked about a month ago about AT&T Watch TV kind of looking like it's on the border of shutting down, that AT&T had cut back on its marketing, had stopped promoting it heavily, and more. And we haven't heard anything about it. The Roku app never came. Some of the other promised features never materialized. So it's very possible that this could be the death knell. Now, this does line up with what AT&T's been talking about how they're going to push HBO Max and AT&T TV, and that's it. So AT&T TV now is seeing a dramatic cutback on its marketing and its presence in the market, and AT&T Watch TV is all but almost forgotten. Zero mention of it during earnings report season. Zero mention of it during the presentation about HBO Max. So we're going to have to keep a very close eye on this. If you're an HBO subscriber, you're going to get HBO Max already if you have an AT&T wireless plan. Now it sounds like AT&T wants to expand that to try to use their wireless plans to grow HBO Max. To do that, they don't want to be dividing the customers between AT&T Watch TV and HBO Max. They seem to want to force everybody over to HBO Max. Probably more profitable for them to do that because they own the content. They're not paying rights for content to other companies for HBO's Max service versus the AT&T Watch TV, which even though a lot of that content they own, not all of it. So we're going to keep a very close eye on this, but it is starting to look like the AT&T's Watch TV service days are numbered. A service that really honestly never got its due, never really got good try from AT&T, it feels like. Almost from the day they launched it, it felt like an afterthought that they decided to move somewhere else. And according to reports, about the time AT&T TV or HBO Max launch or the decision to do it, I should say, was about the same time that AT&T Watch TV was launching. So it could be very well that they put it out there like, hey, this is a placeholder. Once HBO Max comes, this will be what happens. So let me know. Does that upset you? Were you an AT&T Watch TV fan? Let me know. All right, Walmart is reportedly considering selling Vudu. Vudu is, according to a report, up for sale, but not necessarily dead like PlayStation Vue. Now, according to the report, which comes from The Information, which also broke the report that PlayStation Vue was up for sale, that Walmart has decided they either A, need to significantly invest in Vudu to compete with the growing amount of competition in the streaming market, or they should sell it off. Now, at this time, they haven't necessarily decided against either option. This feels very different from what I'm hearing inside the industry than the PlayStation Vue one. At that moment, Sony was very hard. If it didn't sell very quickly, we're shutting it down. Walmart seems to be at a different point. They're just kind of at crossroads right now, looking at all options. If you remember, back around 2013, 2014 timeframe, Hulu was at a similar spot. Hulu was technically up for sale. The owners of Hulu were considering, hey, do we make a massive investment in Hulu, or do we sell it off? After putting up for sale, talking to potential buyers, they made the decision that we're going to invest heavily in Hulu, a decision that seems to have paid off pretty well with rising subscriber numbers. Could possibly, we'll find out soon, be the largest live TV streaming service in the United States. So it's very possible that Vudu could have the same fate. You know, a lot of companies, here's the thing about companies, you never say no, right, until you hear it. So Walmart's out there just kind of looking at their options, like, hey, what options are out there? Could we get a price that would make selling it more advantageous than keeping it? I think that's where they are right now. Is it best for them to pour the money into it to grow it? Or is it best to just take the money you can right now and run? And we'll have to wait and see what Walmart does. Now, one of the things that people have been asking me is, what does this mean about my movies on Vudu? Right now, nothing. Remember, Vudu was originally created by a completely different company. Walmart bought it in 2010 and has grown it significantly. But just because your service sells doesn't mean your movies are going away. Of course, you can always use things like Movies Anywhere to link your movies account or your movies to other services to save them. Walmart's also a major company. I don't have any fear about Walmart waking up tomorrow and saying, all your movies are gone. I think that would give Walmart a black eye, that Walmart typically has better customer service than that. So we'll wait and see. I know we could all come up with bad stories about in-service customer experience, but as a corporation as a whole, I would not expect Walmart just to wake up tomorrow and say it's done without giving you an option to take your content and move it. Many services have done that in the past, where they say, hey, we're shutting down the original Redbox service and we're moving all your content. I think it was MGO at the time. We're going to move it over to the MGO, which became Fandango later. So keep that in mind. I wouldn't freak out. I wouldn't worry about this. All right, next, and let me know, A, if Vudu sells, who do you want to buy it? B, would you like to see Walmart invest in Vudu and keep it? Let me know. Comcast has been removing channels. Apparently, Comcast has quietly been dropping channels like WeTV, Discovery, and WGN. Excuse me. This is on top of the earlier news that they have moved Starz to a more expensive package and are threatening to drop it because they're unhappy over Starz' direct-to-consumer streaming service. And Turner Classic Movies being moved out of their base packages to their sports and entertainment package, which I think costs $10 more. Comcast has been slowly moving these channels. Of course, there's not been a big press release, and there's, of course, no price drop. And even though you have noticeably fewer channels, and some of these are pretty popular channels, Investigation Discovery, WeTV, Turner Classic Movie channels, we're not talking about MTV3 here. We're talking about channels people know and love being moved out and or being replaced with what some people consider to be a lesser channel. So we'll keep a close eye on this. This seems to be Comcast's attempt to not raise prices but get more profit by having to pay fewer channels. Things like this are basically a hidden price hike, kind of, because you're paying the same amount but you're getting less for that. So let me know if you're thinking about going back to Comcast. One thing to keep in mind, channels are disappearing over there. And let me know if there's other channels that have left a Comcast package recently that I missed or were moved to a more expensive package. All right, password sharing has been a major complaint over at Spectrum. Spectrum has teamed up with Disney and Fox to crack down on password sharing, and Spectrum's, or Charter, parent company of Spectrum's CEO, went after password sharing very heavily recently. During their best press event for their third quarter earnings call, he called out live TV streaming services that offer 5 simultaneous streams, who he says aren't properly geolocking that, which, the only service that described that was PlayStation Vue. But he has now teamed up with ACE, the Alliance for Creativity and Entertainment, which is a conglomerate of companies which includes things like Amazon, Discovery, Comcast now is included, and more, and has long gone after piracy services. They led the lawsuit against Set TV Now, an IPTV service that they shut down. They've gone after some Cody box sellers and more, and now they're going to create a working group to try to create best practices, aka standards, that the industry can use to crack down on password sharing. So we're going to keep a close eye on this. Password sharing, even Netflix is kind of starting to talk about it a little bit, seems to be the next big battlefield. Netflix is kind of hinted that, hey, we're only looking at going after the most egregious password shares, the people who have like 10 different people sharing their passwords. Some of this may actually be a good thing too. Cracking down on password sharing may also crack down on people reselling stolen Netflix and Hulu accounts and more. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that. But let me know what you think about that, and let me know if it concerns you about password sharing. All right, Hulu is rolling out their 14-day grid guide to the Fire TV. Now this is slowly rolling out. We got plenty of emails yesterday from people who saw it go live. It seems that Hulu's in an A/B test moment where some Hulu customers are getting the test for the 14-day grid guide. Some are not. Now this is exactly what they did with Android. They started rolling out to a handful of Android customers, and then about a week, 2 weeks later, it rolled out to all Android customers. So look for the new 14-day grid guide with a new user interface on the Fire TV. If it's not already on your device, it will probably be there in a couple weeks, so keep that in mind. But it's great to see Hulu continue to roll out their new user interface, and Hulu has been slowly but steadily improving their app. A new team is leading it now, and it's former TiVo guys now who are designing the Hulu app. And we'll have to see how they do it, what they do with it before it actually hits the market. So let me know. It'd be interesting now that they got a couple executives from TiVo to try to design this. I know there's other people doing it, but they're the leads. Be interesting to see what Hulu's app looks like in a year from now. The previous team came from Xbox, and this new one came from TiVo. Very different design styles, so I'll be interested to see what happens with that. All right, next story up. Apple is expanding Apple TV support to more Sony TVs. Good news. A handful of TVs that were Sony branded who had AirPlay 2 support but not the Apple TV app are getting the Apple TV app. Now if you want to see if your device is supported, check out the show notes down below in the post. We have a full list that just put together of all the TVs that support the new Apple TV app. You need to run a software update to install it. But just in time for tomorrow's launch of the Apple TV app, it's now available to cord cutters on Sony TVs. All right, that's it for today. I hope you have a fantastic Halloween. Thank you to everybody who subscribed recently. We've seen record-setting subscriber numbers. One quick note, you may have noticed I dropped episode numbers from the title on these videos. I'm now going to put that in the description. YouTube has been kind of walking away from videos who have episode numbers where it's like 181, which is this video, because it makes it look like you have to watch each video in order before you would want to get to 181. So I'd rather recommend Cord Cutting Today number 1 versus Cord Cutting Today number 181. So we're going to move that out of the title. So, just trying to keep up with all the different changes to the YouTube algorithm and recommend so the videos don't get lost in the recommendations to you. So to help with that, to make sure you don't miss any of these videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you're alerted when we post a new video. But I'll continue to number them, and I'll mention that in the description of each video. There'll be a little, Cord Cutting Today number 181. So keep that in mind. All right, that's it for today. Have a great Halloween. I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for your support. I really appreciate it.